So I'm on day 6 of the Falcon project. I'm going to make this real quick. It's actually morning of day 6 because I got up before the kids and Megan and everyone else, so I could get an hour or two in on it over the holiday weekends, Memorial Day weekend. So real quick update. Obviously, you guys saw the last one. We replaced the water pump, the thermostat, a bunch of hoses and stuff. Someone had asked, well, why'd you replace the water pump? Well, 2 reasons. 1, it was leaking. 2, this is what the old one looked like when we took it off. So that was pretty cruddy. The new one is also aluminum, so might be a little bit more efficient. Either way, the other one we had a feeling was going to be pretty cruddy, so we took that off. The fuel pump is going to be similar because those are notorious for diaphragms going, so we're going to replace that. And then today, as you can see, I am replacing the heater core. So I got one of these replacement heater cores. This is a Spectra Premium heater core. You can get these, actually I think we might sell them, but you can get them eBay, Amazon, Napa, Advance, wherever. The old one is like a copper core. The new one is an aluminum core. So hopefully we won't have the issues with the corrosion we had on the copper one. Either way, it doesn't matter. I think it was like 25 bucks or 30 bucks or something. So my goal for this morning is to get that back in the car, get the heater box back up in place, get everything connected and get that all wrapped up. If I can do that before the kids get up, it'll be a success. Oh, and one other little thing, replacing the, I'm assuming this is a high pressure line. There were these 2 little, I got it in a bag right now, 2 little nubs, maybe like 3-4 inches long, coming from the transmission lines into the tranny cooler on the radiator. So I got some new line there. I'm going to replace those. And speaking of costs, because I was talking about how much this little heater core costs, a couple of people would ask, or actually a bunch of people would ask about this, and I keep forgetting to talk about it. So for the car, I paid $4,000. So that's it. That's how much it was. And right now I have a couple $100 in parts sitting on the floor. Most expensive thing is probably going to be the tires, another couple $100. So hoping to have maybe around $5,000, $5,500 into it by the time I get it back on the road. I will go over all of that in a little bit more detail once this is all done, because I do keep track of all this stuff, and I'll give like a rundown of everything that was replaced and costs of everything. And I'll do a summary video at the end, but that's what we got right now. So there's the new heater core in the heater box. A little bit more snug, mostly on the top, but I just kind of have to wiggle it a little bit and squeeze it. But it went in, so I'm going to get the hoses hooked up and then get the front of the box clipped on and get this back up in place. In case I didn't mention it, I use Kroil. So I'm doing the, you might not be able to see it because my hand's in the way or the shadows here. Any of these levers in here, from sitting over time and moisture, these levers are pretty stiff, so I'm Kroiling them up. I should have done this one first because it was so stiff you could barely move it, and now I could like flick it and it closes shut. So give it a little shot of something. I prefer Kroil, but liquid wrench, PB blaster, whatever, put something in there before you put this back together. And now I just slid the front case on, and you put these spring clips all around. You can see I put one here. You can see all the markings. You literally just clip it over the back and push down, it snaps into place. So I'm going to put all of those back in and then hook up this cable and rehook up the vents up here, or the lines for these vents, and then slide it back up in place through the firewall, bolt it up, and then put my hand up underneath or through the glove box to put the hose or the line back onto this one. So the heater box assembly is all back up in place and reconnected. Glove box is all back in. All the trim is done. You can see this is a mess down here from where everything leaked. So I did give it a quick cleaning. I'm going to clean it again and get that carpet all cleaned up because it did look a whole lot nicer before this. It's a shame that I spilled that in there. And then I'll show you. There is a glove box. So all back in, just a couple of screws, not a big deal. Yes, that is that is the original owner's manual. It's sitting in there with all the information. So pretty cool. And some of the service records for when they did like oil changes and stuff. And there's a couple of these like located around the car. The last thing I need to do is adjust a couple of these heater hoses. You can see I got the heater motor all bolted back in. When I did that, it kinked these hoses. That's fine. I left them a little bit too long. I was kind of taking a guess because the old ones are so brittle I couldn't straighten them out, but that's fine. So they are connected inside. So all I'm going to do is loosen them up out here. Kind of adjust them where they need to be, trim them down, and put them back in. That is then going to be a wrap for the morning of day 6. I'm hoping to come back down tonight once the kids go to bed and maybe do a little undercarriage painting, gas tank painting, that type of stuff to get that stuff prepped. or maybe I'll start working on the brakes. But if I don't get down here, that's a wrap for day 6, about an hour and a half in. And if not, then I'm going to add to this. So I did make it back down here. I just went underneath this whole area in the back of the car where the gas tank normally would sit, and wire wheeled the whole thing to get the heavy rust and everything off, and the tank is sitting out there. I did the same thing to both sides of the tank, and the straps are next to it. What I'm getting ready to do is paint this with ZeroRust. I'm going to show you that in a second. One of the interesting things, see that little hook right there? There's another one. I probably can't see it on the other side. One of the comments that we had on this was that those were the original toe straps, or tie-down straps, I guess, that would have been on the car that when it was delivered to the dealership, and the dealership should have taken those off. But interestingly enough, they were left on here. I thought maybe it was something for like a hitch or some other accessory in the back. I guess it would have been a hitch. But anyway, getting ready to paint it, and you might be thinking, oh, what the heck are you going to paint it with? ZeroRust. This is a very old can. This has actually been in my garage for a couple years, but even though it was open before, I put a little xylene on top of it, sealed it up, and it is still fine. So I'm going to spray it with this. If you're not familiar with ZeroRust, it is very similar to Pour 15. It seals the rust in. So you can go literally over what you were just looking at. You just clear off any scale or heavy rust. Obviously, if there's grease or anything, you want to clean that off. There really wasn't anything back there, so I'm not going to worry about it. Kind of wipe it down and then spray this, and it seals the rust in so that air can't get to it. It can't oxidize anymore. This stuff is fantastic. We've actually been selling it for like 20 some years. It just is not a household name, kind of like Pour 15. They don't really advertise. But if you need to seal up any sort of rusty surface, undercarriage of your car, I don't know, shed, railings, whatever, I would highly recommend this. So anyway, you can brush it on or you can spray it on. I am going to spray it with the gun, and I'm going to just do a light xylene mixture in it so that it sprays a little bit more evenly. Sometimes it's a little bit thick, just spraying it right through the gun. Usually they say about a 20% reduction with xylene. So I'm going to get that mixed up. We're going to get in there, and I'm going to spray the underside of the car, and I'm going to spray the tank and get that all set so that we can put it in hopefully in the next day and get the new fuel line hooked up to it. And there's the finished product, all painted up. For the most part, good enough for what I needed to do. And we got the tank out here, and the straps are off to the side. It's all painted, ready to go. So day 6, done. Good day. Got all that done. So as soon as the stuff dries, next day we're going to get the tank back up in there, run the fuel line, do the brake lines. Thanks for watching.